Hey friends, and welcome back to the Reddit Rainbow. I hope you're doing well today. I did makeup, I ate chocolate chip pancakes, and I am a happy camper. Y'all, grab your vibes and delights. Let's jump into this story called Am I the Asshole for Sticking to the Financial Rules My Husband Made Years Ago? When my husband, R, and I first moved in together, we started putting a percent of our earnings into a joint account to cover rent, bills, etc. He explained he had a side business and insisted that his money from it was his for his personal use. I was fine with this arrangement. The first few years together, he was doing pretty well, in the realm of $300 to $500 per week. However, over the last couple years, it's really dropped off. He's had issues with orders and demand, but whatever the reason, he's been getting maybe up to $50 on a good week and often nothing. Meanwhile, I began my own side gig last October, which really took off to my great surprise. When I started, I said that I would use any profits for fun experiences, thinking it would be a couple hundred a month. I'm around the 8,000 mark for sales, of which I've used to fund family days out, make birthdays and Christmas a little grander, and I've also put down a deposit on a holiday, which R was completely on board with. But now R is getting bitter about how well I'm doing. He'd made a few snide comments, but now it feels like outright disdain. I bought our son an iPad for his birthday this week, and this sent my husband over the edge. It's unfair that he hasn't bought anything for himself, so much as a new video game, in months, but our son gets an iPad, etc. Oh, that's his argument. Got it. Tonight, it turned into a fight about how I'm buying all these lavish things when he can't afford them anymore. He told me that because I'm now getting all this extra income, I should be putting more into our joint bank account so that he can keep more of his paycheck for himself. I must stress that all our bills are covered, and he does have money each week left over from his salary. It's only been since launching that I've had the ability to splurge, whereas previously I had to save for bigger items. So I refused. He had set the rule that his side of the earnings were just for him, and it's only fair that the same rule applies to me. There were months when he was making thousands a month and we never changed our budget. I've spent years watching him buy new computers, consoles, an ungodly amount of money on card games, and I've never complained. It's not reasonable to try and change the rule now that it doesn't suit him, and it's not like he's not benefiting from the experiences and the holidays, right? He tried to argue that it was different, but couldn't say how other than he hasn't made that kind of money in ages. I stood firm in my no. He called me a few choice names and stormed out. I know what's good for the goose should be good for the gander, but I just kind of feel bad. There were times where I was jealous. I had to save for months for things where he could just buy outright. So I empathize, but I also wonder if I'm jaded now because of it. Like maybe putting a few extra hundred into the joint account would be worth avoiding the argument. Am I the asshole for refusing because of the rule he established years ago? What do y'all think? I don't think so. I feel like he made the rule because it was benefiting him, but now it's not benefiting him anymore. He doesn't like the rule anymore. And that alone makes me think you're not the asshole and I wouldn't change a thing. But I will say that this is a surface issue. Y'all clearly have some deeper issues going on. It's not about the money. He's resenting you. That resentment is building up. How long has been building up for? Ever since you started making money? You already said it yourself. So what do you think? Y'all think y'all should go to couples counseling? Maybe he should sit the fuck down like Mr. Dolly Parton. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe he should sit the fuck down like Mr. Dolly Parton, okay? Like just sit back and make some money. You heard me? Like god dang, what's wrong with y'all? All right, so let's read one comment because everybody's kind of writing books in here. Completely agree that you're not the asshole, but have you considered putting some of the money from your side gig into a savings account just in case things go sideways with your husband? I was in a similar position. My ex-husband earned 3 times what I did until I started a hustle. I bought a dishwasher, paid for takeout, clothes for the kids, including stepdaughter, and he got more and more resentful. We ended up losing the house because he was treating himself to stuff but couldn't afford his share of the mortgage, childcare fees, and during discussions it came out how bitter he felt that I was able to constantly treat the family while he couldn't afford to do so. All I'm saying is that there's nothing wrong with having a rainy day fun, especially if your husband is now reached name calling and storming out in anger. Protect yourself and your kids in case things worsen, and I wish you much luck. All right. Oh man, y'all, what do y'all think? I don't think she's the asshole. In fact, I agree with that commenter, and I stand firm with what I said. Because how many more times are we going to read about a guy just losing the money train, just jumping off the money train, like who doesn't want to be a kept man anyway? But all right, y'all, I can't wait to read your guys' stuff, and as always, I'll catch y'all later.